Hi, Deirdre McNamara here. Just going to do a quick video showing you how to do the basics of inserting tables. So I'm using Office 365, but it's the same as Office 2019, and this really will work in any version of Word. So on the home screen here, I'm just going to click on Insert and Table. This option here is a table. So if we click on the bottom half of this button, so if we click on the little down triangle there, and this shows you. Now, for example, if I come across 3, you can see, do you see the way as I move across 3, you can see 3 divisions in the table there, and I'm going to go down 3 by, for example, 7. Okay, and that inserts a basic table for you. Okay, so to actually start typing in a table, you just begin to type. So I'm just going to type in name, and then to move to the next cell over here, I could use the arrow keys on my keyboard or could click with my mouse, but I tend to use the tab key, and I put a picture of it in here. That's the tab key on your keyboard. So it's just above your caps lock key on the keyboard. Sometimes it has the word tab, and sometimes it's just those 2 symbols there. Okay, those 2 little arrows going in opposite directions. So if you use the tab key, it moves you along to the next cell within the table. So if you type in team and score. Now I want to move down to the next cell over here, and again using the tab key it'll automatically move me to the next empty cell, which is down on the next line. So tab is very handy here. And if I type in Tom, spelled correctly, Tom, and then I'm going to fill in the rest of the details. So I've just done the typing in there, and I realise I actually need to put in somebody else. So I've run out of rows in my table at the moment, but the great thing is if I just hit the tab key, it'll automatically add another row for me. So in here I could type in Pat, time D and 17. Okay, so that's the very basics of inserting a table. So the next thing you want to do is, at the moment, there's a huge gap here between the name, the team, and the score. So we want to resize the table. So the first thing I can do is I can move my mouse. Do you see, as I move my mouse on top of the line there, it turns into a double-sided arrow. So if I click and I keep my mouse button held down and move and move and move, you can see I can move it in and out. So I've dragged that in there. So you've got your click and drag, and again I could click and drag it out and move it in and out. Again, get the right mouse and then click and drag. The second method of resizing in a table is the double click. So if I double click, get the right mouse, which has got the double-sided arrow, and when I see that mouse, I double click with the left mouse button on my mouse and double click, and it automatically fits it over here. So over here again, I can double click and it resizes to automatically fit the information. Okay, the next thing I want to show you is selecting within a table. So you've got your normal selection method, which is your click and drag, which is fine, you knew that one already. But if you wanted to select the whole row, for example, so for example I can come out here into the margin and click, and it's all selected, and for example I could turn on bold. And that would make them all bold, and then I could increase the size if I wanted. Here you can see all of the teams are aligned on the left, so they're on the left hand side of the cell here in the middle column. So to select a whole column, I move my mouse up and you'll see my mouse turns into a black arrow. So if I click in there and then I can choose, for example, center alignment. So that's left, center, right and justified. So if I choose center alignment, it's now center aligned, and numbers are usually right aligned. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to select, and then I'm going to choose right alignment. Other things in this new version of Word is if, for example, you think, oh, actually I have a need of another column in here. I forgot to actually put in the surnames. So I could actually click on the plus in here and it adds in an extra column in there. If I decide I actually don't want that, all I can do is I can hit the undo button. Okay, and I can hit undo to get rid of it. I'll leave it at that for this video.